Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist, life coach, and health coach. And I'm here today to show you a delicious meal. It's not the quickest meal that I've ever done, but it's definitely delicious. And I took it to my Bible study last night, and oh my gosh, they loved it. So you start off with these, and this is very important to be keto. Now, you can do this with those low carb or really any kind of tortilla, but we don't eat gluten because it's definitely. I had a woman ask me about, will this program help me with irritable bowel syndrome? Well, most of the time, the reason we have it is because of gluten and toxic oils. So this recipe is going to be totally optimal. But these are siete tortillas, and they are about 6 inches round, and they're made with flour. And I love them to make enchiladas. I make, uh, yeah, any tacos. I can cut them up and make chips out of them. Although the Siete family does sell Siete chips as well that are made from cassava flour. But on the back of this, you'll see this is the Siete family, and they had a daughter that had a lot of digestive issues, and I think that was life threatening. And so they came up with this, and they sell these. Honestly, these I found at Walmart. And so here's the catch. At Walmart, they had them laying on the shelf like this, so you would have never seen them. They're in the frozen section. One of my clients told me about them, and but so if they'd have been standing up like this, you definitely could have seen them because they're purple and pink, two of my favorite colors. But anyway, so here we go. So I've thawed these out, and I've got about 6 of them here. So I wanted to show you the process because this is one of those dishes where you layer. But then when you're done, you got it all in one pan. So this is a bundt pan, as you can see, and it's I've sprayed it with some avocado oil, and I'm just going to take my pizza cutter, which to me is the best way to cut these. I mean, you could use a knife for sure, but I'm just doing them into 4 pieces, little triangles, okay? And this is how I cut them if I'm going to make chips. I just lay them flat in a on a baking sheet and put them in the oven. But here's what I'm going to do. So I want you to see how I'm doing this process. So I'm laying these in the bottom of the pan, just one by one, lapping them over. See that? I'm lapping them over so that they cover the bottom of the pan, because this is going to dump out kind of like a cake or you've seen those where they use crescent rolls, bad word, crescent rolls to make desserts or, different. I've even done this with crescent rolls before I knew that how unhealthy they were. But anyway, so I'm just going to take a few minutes here and just lay this out, get them in there really nice, a good thick layer. Okay, so that's going to be the bottom of my dish. And then I'm just going to take, this is taco meat right here. And you make it however you want to. I make my own. I don't use taco seasoning, although the Siete family does have a taco seasoning. I make my own from cumin. This is about 3 pounds of meat, 2 pounds of grass-fed hamburger meat, and 1 pound of just loose sausage meat that I get from the local meat market. And I add about a tablespoon of cumin, really about a tablespoon and a half for 3 pounds. And then I add paprika, and I add chili powder, and I add chili flakes, and I add 2 small cans of tomato paste, and then on top of that, I put a whole 8 ounces of cream cheese, and that's what gives it that look that's not quite so red. Okay, and so I do want the grease, get some of the meat grease out at the beginning when I'm browning my meat. And the only reason, normally I would save that, but the reason I do is it will actually bleed through and affect your tortilla. So I don't. You know what? I think I need to put a few more around the edges because that's where you want it to kind of fold over. So let me put. You can see I'm going to put another whole layer around the top because I want this to kind of fold over. Now, I have seen a recipe where you actually put 2 layers, but I'm not going to do that. One layer is sufficient for me. It just looks maybe a little prettier if you have 2 layers when you cut into it. But I'm just going to do it like this. Okay, so there you go. So now you see I've got a little higher layer on the side, and I'm going to just spoon this into there, probably about half of this, well, not even half of it. I just want it about 2 inches thick around, okay? Okay, so, and by the way, if I don't have your email, you need to put your email in the comments, because that's how I'm going to send out this recipe, okay? So there you go. I like, we are meat eaters, and so I want it to be, kind of thick enough so that when you cut off a slice of it, a triangle of it, you're going to have enough, for a meal. So here we go. There's that. And then now we love sun-dried tomatoes. That's what this is. This is the Filippo Barrio sun-dried tomato pesto. And so I love to put that on. Just adds a little more flavor. I'm probably putting 2 tablespoons. I just kind of spread it around. And then I'm going to put a layer of black olives, and this is roasted red peppers. So I'm just going to sprinkle this over the top, just like this. Yep. And gives it a little color. And if you love black olives, and this is sauteed green onion. So I'm going to just drizzle that around. You could just put that in your meat, but I just kind of like to add it. Also give it a little color. And let's see. And then I'm going to put some cheese. Now remember, you could have put sour cream in this, but I put the cream cheese in the meat mixture. So here we go with the cheese, and that's going to melt. I've got my oven on 400. Yep. And I'm going to stick this right in there when we get done. You could have put pesto in there. There's so many things you could have done. Now I'm going to pull this over the top, this layer that's kind of around the edge. I'm going to pull it over the top, and then I'm going to add another layer on top of that and put some cheese because I want it to kind of pull together. So here we go. I'm going to add a layer around the top. So you are getting carbs with this meal because these siete tortillas have about 10 grams of carbs. I'm going to cut one more. They have about 10 grams of carbs in 2 tortillas. You see how quick and easy that is to do? Yeah, so I'm just going to make sure that I have enough. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some more cheese on the top. So you see, it really doesn't take that long, I would probably put more cheese, but I put a lot of cream cheese, a whole block of cream cheese in it. So you see I've got enough for another whole serving there. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put it in the freezer, and then in a few more days, maybe make some enchiladas or whatever. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I put enchilada sauce in the meat. You could have put Rotel tomatoes, however you like to make your taco meat when you're making tacos. All right, so that's all ready to go, and I'm going to stick this in the oven and take it out in a minute.